What's up, everybody? This is thetrulytay, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about college. I want to give you all a little college survival guide. As you all know, I graduated in June. I'm a fresh grad, and there are a lot of things that I learned, and there's a lot of things that I want to talk about so that whoever is watching this, to all my youngins out there that are going to college this fall, good luck, and hopefully some of my tips can help you out. Number one, make sure that the school that you choose to go to is right for you. You know, sometimes you can get into a really good school and you could be super excited, and your excitement just makes you make decisions that you probably would have chose to do differently if you would have talked to people that actually go to the school. For example, we have social media now. You guys can use it. Ask me any question that you have about college, and I would be so happy to help. So yeah, don't be scared to DM people. Don't be scared to follow people, and really just dive in and stalk. Like, as horrible as that sounds, stalk. You have thousands of dollars that are waiting to be spent on college, so you need to make sure that you're making the right choice. I'm kind of like a creative person, so I like to dance, I love to act, and I've kind of done it all of my life. And then when I went to college, it was like kind of in the middle of nowhere, and they weren't good at those things. They weren't good, and I was really miserable. I was dancing all my life, and then all of a sudden I just stopped. So it made college really hard for me because, you know, if you're studying all the time, you need an outlet. You need people that are doing the same things as you. You need people that have the same interests as you. So factor that into the equation when you're trying to make a decision on what college to go to. Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
What was that?
I'm making a YouTube video.
A what?
A YouTube video.
Really?
Yes.
Can I come in?
Yeah. This is my Nana. Do you want to say hi?
Hi. To who?
Like, do you want to get on camera and say hi?
Well, no. I'm not even looking cute or anything.
Okay, well.
So it's still going right now?
Yeah, it's recording.
Oh. Well, hello, but I'm not ready to be on camera.
Okay. Well, she's not ready to be on camera. This is my Nana. I don't even know what I was talking about. Okay, so number two, learn the way the school system works. You're gonna keep staring at me? You're gonna just watch me or what?
Yeah.
I'm nervous now. Number two, learn the way the school system works. Obviously, you're paying lots of money to go to college, so you need to leave with the most possible. Like, you need to take everything that you could take out of that school. So stay on track. And the way that you could do this is every quarter or semester, make sure you print out your syllabi. Print it out. You need a planner. If you don't have a planner and you think you're going to go throughout college without one, do not do that. Get a planner. Get a laptop that works. If you need to work all summer before you go to college so that you can invest in a really fast working laptop, please do that. You don't need your computer crashing and having to worry about all these extra things. College is already stressful in itself. When you have a planner and you print out your syllabi, it will give you all the dates of different tests. Like, your professors already have the entire quarter planned out. So, for example, the fall, right? You're probably gonna have your finals in December. You'll probably have midterms in like November-ish or October. So put down those things on your planner so you can physically see it. It's one thing to know it, but it's one thing to also see it. You could physically see the date and physically see the next date and have everything in between. You could see how much time you really have, because you may, in your head, you may not be factoring work, birthdays, vacations, if you're involved in any other organizations, like competitions, whatever you have going on. You need to be able to physically see what you have going on so you can plan accordingly and you could do well in school. Research your professors. Most of the time, your teachers are teaching because they already did what they want to do. Okay, that's not true. A lot of people they want to be professors, but there are professors out there that are a little older and they've already done the job. So they may not talk about it, but research all your professors and see what they've done, because everybody has office hours and you can go into those office hours and you can ask them all those questions that you have. They're right there, and you don't know who they know. They can always introduce you to somebody else. So for example, I had a teacher I had a teacher named Professor Leverage, and he was the mayor of Riverside for 30 years. So he's very well known. He knew that I was into media and entertainment, so he introduced me to some other people, and I got a radio internship out of it. And due to that internship, I was on the radio. I was interviewing artists for like an hour at a time, and I loved it. And now I'm like pursuing journalism. So, you know, all those little things matter. Go into your office hours, and I know that everybody says it, do not let that go in through one ear and out the other. Go to your office hours. Go. I remember when I was a freshman, people used to tell me that. I'd be like, for what? Like, what do I even talk about? They are required to spend a certain time in their office available for students like you, so you can go ask questions. They probably want people to come in because they're bored. Go in there, even if it's just to introduce yourself. Hey, my name is Taylor. I'm a second year. I majored in this. I just wanted you to see my face. Ask a question about the class. Ask them about their career. Let them physically see your face, because I promise you it will work. You're going to get sick during college. You're going to have emergencies. You're going to not do well on some tests. And when professors like you, they will help you out. I bugged my professors. And that's another thing too that I didn't know until later on during college. You see them for the quarter and then you never see them again. So don't be embarrassed to annoy them, because I promise you, once they know that you're annoying and you will email them, they're going to be so much more careful about grading your stuff. And there were teachers that were very careless about the way that they graded me. I would look over some of my tests and they would give me wrong grades. They would just completely, like, you know, they have so many tests to grade that they're just going to overlook you. And then when they started seeing that I was paying attention and I was hitting them up, unlike all these other students, they would be so much more careful. They would give me higher grades because they just know that I'm going to be in their face and they don't want to deal with me. So make sure that these teachers physically see your face and that you were always talking to them and asking questions. Sit in the front. Another thing too, you may want to get a master's, a PhD. There's teachers that you're going to need letters of recommendation from. So you want to do your best to always be on really good terms with all your professors. So that way, if you need a letter of rec, you can always go back and ask them. Next one, find a good source of income. It's really hard because you're a college student. You have tests, you need to study. You have so many things to do. You need to have a social life. You need to go to the gym. You need to get good grades. You need to figure out what career path you're going into. You need to get internships. Like, there's so much that you need to do, but you also need to be afloat. So I was able to not stress out so much about money in college because I served. So I was a waitress. And you know, and I would work weekends, and weekends was enough for me because Friday, Saturday, Sunday, those were the busiest days, and I would make my money and I'd be able to support myself. So, you know, I would personally say if you can find a serving job, get a serving job. It will put you through college and it will help you, and not like a family owned really slow restaurant. I'm talking about like a really fast-paced restaurant. You can make really good money and it will support you until you graduate college. So please find a good source of income. And also, I have never gotten a job from a resume. I mean, my resume is great and all, but go into these places that you want to work at and ask for a manager. You have to be confident. You have to know who you are, and you can't be scared, but you have to go into these places that you want to work at, find a manager, and let them see your face. You might get hired, honestly. Like, people love putting a face to things. They have tons of applications. They have tons of resumes. I remember one restaurant that I worked at, they said they had 300 applicants a month, which I believe. It's a very popular restaurant. It's very busy all the time, and you get paid decently. I walked in there. I prayed on it. Literally, I prayed on it. I was in my car and I prayed on it, and then I walked in and the manager wasn't there, and I said, well, when is the manager coming in? Came back during that time. They liked me. They loved my personality. I got hired, and a lot of times that's how it works. So please go into where you want to work. Use social media. Find the owners of things. Find the head of whatever you want to be at. Message them, go to their workshops, go to classes that they teach. Like, always find a way to get in front of who you want to meet, physically in front of who you want to meet. And a lot of times it's going to work in your favor. Another thing, find a therapist. I know there's a stigma on it. You don't need to be suicidal to go to a freaking therapist. You just don't. Like, I don't know why that's a thing. When you have all these things on your plate, when you're away from home, when you're trying to get a good job, when you're trying to study, when you have all these stressors, you need to have someone to vent to, and you need to have someone that you can just get a second opinion on. Please, 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 just find a therapist. Do not be scared. Find someone that you can talk to. And a lot of times, if I would have started therapy as a freshman, I would have probably been a completely different person as a senior. Like, I didn't start going to therapy until like my senior year, but it's so healthy, and you find out things that you didn't even realize, and you heal different wounds that you didn't even know were there. So please go to therapy. Better yourself. You always want to be better in yourself, so go and figure out, how to clear your mind and better ways, better tactics to be able to go through life happy and healed. That's our goal, right? Happy and healed. Find a therapist. Another tip: listen to your gut about what you want to do. This is something that I struggled so much with in college. So one of my parents wanted me to be a lawyer so bad. And I just knew in my heart that it wasn't for me. I just knew it, and I was anxious all the time about it because I didn't want to disappoint my parents, and I wanted to make good money. And, my parents have always been right about everything, so I trusted what they wanted for me, but I knew that I didn't want to have a miserable life. I wanted to do something that was going to make me happy, and I knew that that wasn't it. And that is one decision that I'm so glad that I made. I'm so glad that I didn't decide to go to law school, because I think that I genuinely would have been miserable. I would have been miserable. And if to all those who are going to law school, good for you. I'm not saying that it's a miserable thing to do. I'm just saying that I knew in my heart that it wasn't for me personally, and I wanted to take a different route. So please do whatever makes you happy. Obviously consider money, obviously consider your future, but at the end of the day, you're working that job every day. You're waking up in the morning and going to work. So make sure it's something that you personally want to do, not anybody else. And this took me a really long time to really accept, because I love my parents, obviously, and I trust their judgment. But when you're happy, your parents are going to be happy. And that's something that I didn't realize. When you are happy, your parents will be happy. Do what makes you happy. Prioritize your work. So what I mean by this is, there were so many times that I was like at a high B or even a high C, and one test will make or break your grade. If you know that this test has this much impact, stay up. Stay awake. Self-care is important. Yes, we know self-care is important, but you're also spending thousands of dollars to be here, and college will be over eventually. So if you have to stay up all night and then crash the next day after the test, do that, because there were so many times that I wanted to sleep. I was like, my eyes were big and red and dry, and I needed sleep, but I knew that at the end of the day, I needed that A. So I would go grab a coffee, I would stay up all night, take the test, and then sleep the next day, and then I would get a good grade, and I'd be so happy that I did that. Take one for the team, stay up, and those little points, like 78.9, do not accept that. Do not accept that you're going to get a C in that class. You can definitely go talk to a teacher. Definitely email them, go to their office hours, even fight different grades that you can. Like, it doesn't take away anything from your teachers to give you a better grade. So that's something that I also didn't realize until later on, but they lose nothing. They're literally changing a grade on a computer. They don't lose anything. So study hard, get the best grade that you can possible. And if you need to maneuver by talking to different professors and different teachers, if they like you, they're going to change your grade. And that will make a difference when you're trying to get into grad school. From studying and not studying, you can get a 3.0 or like a 3.6 just based on like all those little things. Nipping at teachers and like making sure that they're on your grade and asking them to, bump it and like ask about curves, ask about all that. Just really be on your stuff, because it matters. I promise you it matters. Okay. Research your school's resource centers. You want to be aware of everything that your school can offer you. The Career Center, there, I have my resume done there. It'll test interviews so that you're prepared and ready and you feel confident for an interview. And by the way, you're paying for these things. You don't know it, but it's in your, if you ask for an itemization, you will find out that you're paying for a lot of different things. Use those things. A lot of people don't know it, but use those things. Oh, also you need to have the police department on speed dial on your phone because there's so much stuff that's happening on campus. So many people that are doing things that will put you in danger. You just need to be able to have them on the phone like that and give them a location. Go out with people that you trust. Sis, you need to know when people are drinking, they're in an altered state of mind. You need to be around people that you can trust. Please be careful with who you're drinking and who you're going out with. Obviously everybody's new, you can't read everybody, but do your best to just be around people who will make sure that you get home safely, people that won't drive off before you get inside. All those little things matter. Be around people who you know that you can trust. If you say blackout, if you know whatever bad situation happens, you know that you are in the hands of someone that you can trust. Okay, be careful with relationships. If you know that someone is not pushing you to be better, at this point in your life, consider it a waste of time. I know a lot of people that had boyfriends from home and they just didn't understand what they were going through as far as school and balancing everything. So if someone's not on the same mindset, they don't have the same mindset as you, if they're not valuing the same things as you, be very careful because like I said, college is very stressful and you don't want to have any additional stressors on your plate. Be careful with who you invest your time in. This one is, let me tell you, girl. Be careful with who you choose to live with. This will make or break your experience. If you are away from home, you want to be comfortable in your own space. I know sometimes it can be really hard finding a roommate, but you need to live with someone that you can be comfortable with. Ask those questions. Are you messy? Do you smoke? Do you play loud music? Do you have animals? Like all these different things you need to know, because I've had some horror stories with people that I chose to live with that I had no idea, just because like I really didn't know who they were and I didn't ask those questions. So make sure that you know who you're living with, because it's honestly, it's a terrible feeling coming home from class and not being comfortable in your own space. Know who you're living with. Oh, and another thing that I wish I would have done is making a habit of going to the library during my free time. I learned that later on in my college career, but I wish I would have went to the library in between classes instead of like hanging out outside or something, because I always saw someone that I knew and then all of a sudden like I'm talking to them until I have my next class. But I wish I would have went to the library and got studying time in, because in the nighttime people are going out, people are asking you to go places, If you can just get a little bit of studying time here and there and being productive during the day, you'll feel better going out. It won't be in the back of your mind, and you'll also do better. If you're making time to also study after that, you're being productive with your time and you're gonna do better in college. You're gonna get better grades. If you guys have any questions about college, I did it, I went through it, DM me, I'd be happy to help. Thank you guys for tuning in to Truly Tay. Like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at thetrulytay. Bye guys.